Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a special Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today. According to the messages I've been getting, we're playing out the crucifixion of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and that today is the crucifixion. I'm not going by any religious order, I'm just giving you the downloads I'm getting. And the message was very special today as well. It is the full moon tonight as we get into, depending on where you are in the United States, it'll be about 4 to 7 a.m. tonight going into tomorrow morning. And this leads, the energy today is definitely of the crucifixion. I just had a twin friend of mine with some stigmata symptoms. Definitely some of the masculines may be feeling the crown being pulled off their head. Anything in their hands and feet, that might be coming up for other people as well. Purging for the collective, the sacrifice, because we are to be now in joy. Instead of being on the cross, the message I keep getting from Jesus is that he wants to be seen breaking bread with others, not on a cross. And some of that parallel will come through in the read today. So it is April 18, 2019. The 18 is of this full moon. The false light reflecting back at the masculine, his shadow side, which he now needs to accept all of him. And that's a 9, so of course it's endings, universal selflessness, compassion, and the collective consciousness. The day adds up to 34, 7, and 34 is that 8 of Wands. It's a heated exchange. It is expressing your feelings. It's the arrows of love. Okay? So we have the 8 of Wands and the moon today. So that could be very moody energy. We have all these crazy full moon energies going on to release. And this intense passion between the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. So as we get into the read, I was getting heartache, just like yesterday. It was very specific, the term heartache, coming up for the masculine. As I am, as always, using the Sirian Starseed deck as the main deck, and then I have, I'm using the Gilded Tarot, I'm using the Universal Golden Tarot, the Rider Waite Mini deck, and the Tarot of Sexual Magic, as well as the Romance Angels and the Numerology deck. The time of the Divine Masculine Twin Flame read today was at 8:40 to 41, and 40 is the number that comes up with the Jesus card in my Oracle cards, and that's the Page of Cups. And 41, of course, is the Ace of Cups. So it's all about pure love, new love, childlike love, okay? And the major arcana for this read were just the Tower, which comes up in the underlying energy, and the Empress, which is actually the abundance card in this deck. The Strength card did come up under the Tower, okay, so there's a lot of strength behind it. And there were 4 swords, 3 wands, 1 cup, 1 pentacle. The court cards were all swords, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. So although there's 4 swords, 3 wands, 1 cup, and 1 pentacle, 3 of the 4 swords are actually court cards. They're people. The Page of Swords, which can be a message, doesn't have to be a person. The Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords, which also can be the messenger of truth. It usually represents, it's an action, but it usually does represent a person for me. The numbers and the coding here were all about synchronicity. The numbers that came up were 107, 1, 108, 9, 1010, the sequence 567, the number 13 for death and transformation, 35 of Wounded Warrior and Mary Magdalene and Jesus, and then 67, which is really more of Jesus. It's like 35 is coming up for Mary Magdalene, and 67 is the Page of Pentacles coming up the Knight of Pentacles coming up for Jesus as the workhorse, the carpenter. He faithfully goes forward one step at a time, very carefully, surely, softly, slowly. All right? And then Tiny Dancer's coming up, Spirit's connecting with me. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Okay? So 4311 also came up, and 43 is the 3 of Cups of coming together, which is the after card read today, or the after the read card. I always pull one after the read, and I always show the one before the read as well, because I use them both in my read. So 43 is the Three of Cups, and 11 is Justice. Okay, so we're changing the story today from a crucifixion to just hanging out to see a new perspective. We're changing his position on the cross. Now we're just hanging in limbo. We're going to be like doing a inversion table kind of thing to help your back to change gravity, see a new perspective, and hang out and change dimension. Okay? So see what's going to come up here in the read today. It was pretty cool. The message here, and it was again all around synchronicity. That was the only numerology deck card that came up on the line for the coding. It was about that and the Seven of Chalices. Now in the Syrian Starseed deck, it's very different than the normal deck. And give me 1 second, I'm going to pull all the cards for you so you can see them today. Okay, so actually the card, I'm going to go 2 cards down below the first underlying energy card, because below the Strength and the Tower card was the 2 crystals, and this deck, that's surrender. So here is the masculine surrendering. Okay? Then the underlying energy starts with the Tower and the Strength card, like this. Okay? That's the way it came up. Okay? So there's a lot of fire packing a punch behind this Tower, with a lot of lightning stretching across the world. Okay? So light coming in, illuminating, causing a few fires around, but so we'll get into that in a second. So the message here from the coding was all about the Seven of Chalices. And I'm going to show you the Seven of Chalices now, because that's the challenge position today. But it's different in this deck, and it's important because it's definitely coming up as the Stairway to Heaven today. But with the clarification cards, only, let's see, these 2 cups were showing. So cups 3 and 4 were coming up as the masculine's obstacle. Okay? But this is the Stairway to Heaven. Okay? And that's definitely coming up that way today. And the coding had to do with the saint to the nth degree of abundance, the good knight, the messenger of truth, right? The knight in shining armor, the good knight, the abundance, the high vibration of the synchronicities that came in twice. Not only was it the card from the numerology deck, but synchronicities came in again as the 10 of the high vibration and the 7 of chalices. Because for me, the 7 of chalices often comes up as the synchronicities. So, being a saint to the nth degree of abundance, the good knight, high vibration, synchronicities, heaven in their eyes, talk about being one by the crescent moon. So as we go from the full moon down to the crescent moon, this is a big period right here, having to do with the masculine sinking in with the feminine. I was also getting Thoth coming through in the coding here. He's always being very funny. I was getting Saint Thoth, and I was getting ABI and ADI, but also AB and AD, and he was being funny, saying, Saint Thoth, after birth and after death, see destined synchronicities in child's pose, one sliver of the divine feminine. Okay, and then I was getting child's pose again in stuff that I looked up online, and I'll get to that in a second. So a lot of stuff came up online just about the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Cups, because that ended up being in the coding. But also the Eucharist, the Holy Grail, and Indiana Jones came up with the Holy Grail. As well as Titan Blood came up as well, which is that, headbanging group. What's it called? I don't know if I wrote it down right, but their album, I guess, is 7 Chalices. and that was from metal-archives.com. And track 3 is the Eye of Satan, and track 5 is Ugaritic so from an ancient Semitic language, meaning it was from ancient city of Ugarit, and which is now Syria. And then another heading just came up said to say that this thread is pointless. And then it said town square exiles. Okay, we were getting a lot of the exile energy this week with the crucifixion, being exiled from your family, your friends, your town, whatever it is, but feeling that abandonment of exile. So the different coding that came up here as well, singly from this coding, were ABI, which I always get as ankle brachial index, which I brought up before as the measurement when you want to see if there's a problem in your legs, because you compare the measurement of your arm, your brachial pressure, to your ankle pressure, and it tells you if there's any blockage going on in the bridge, all right, from one to the other. But it was also coming up today as acquired brain injury, because also ADI came up, and that's Alzheimer's disease. So all brain injuries were coming up in regards to just being on the journey, that it can be a blessing. I was getting it related to the child's pose, okay? Because then another code came up, SA came up, which is sacro-anterior position, and that has to do with a breech position at birth, right? Child's pose. So they're relating these three, the acquired brain injury, ABI, the ADI of Alzheimer's, and then the SA of that breech position of the child. And then also ABI is coming up as Saba, which is coming up as the place of where the 3 wise men came from. And there's confusion about that, because some say, of course, that the 3 wise men came from Iran, and which was Saba at the time. It's an ancient Saba. And then others, you know, you talk about Queen of Sheba, which is also Saba, but that's from Yemen, and King Solomon around Ethiopia, but they're 2 different places in perspective to Bethlehem, which is really actually in between. But again, I was getting east and 20 degrees north, which actually comes up right around Qom, Qom, I don't know how they pronounce it, but that's the town I'm getting, is where the 3 wise men would have come from if it's 20 degrees north and east. So that's the best I could do from the information I could find. The Saba was coming up is in the Zaya, is it the Zaya? Oh, the Zanjan, Zanjan, Zanjan province, which is northwest of Tehran. So they also call it the happiest province in Iran. But I wasn't getting the degree that if it's up at ancient Saba, where they're saying it is, that would be like a 45-degree angle north. It wouldn't be the 20 degrees north, which I'm getting more of the QOM, which I think is kind of cool because it's Q, Queen Om. So that was kind of interesting. Anyway, all that stuff was coming up. You can check out some of that information as well. Saba is also an island in the Caribbean as part of the Netherlands. It's 28 miles southwest of St. Martin. And then, what else came up? Anyway, just a lot of stuff in that area. In the Middle East was coming up, which, you know, I'm terrible with history and geography, so for me it's always a lesson to go in there and learn what I'm supposed to know, right? So, as we turn the page, the coding here was also coming up as from Thoth, sweet to the nth degree, which can be saintly as well, but sweet acute brain injury and Alzheimer's disease. See high vibration, heaven in their eyes, child's pose, ace, key, and notes, keynote speaker, okay? So for the person actually having brain injury helps you get out of your head and into your connection, as well as child's pose, to get into your key, to find your keys and find your notes, all right, which we all talk about in the etheric realms, to be a keynote speaker. So I thought that was pretty cool how that came through. I was also getting Tel Aviv, and also a doctor friend I used to work with, Ziv. So there's something about that I have to figure out. But also when I got the other day, the symbolism of the something caught between the keys in the keyboard, like something stuck in your teeth, like whatever's the wedge between you. I got a coding of the J below the line, and then like apostrophe, and then a J on the line, except it was more of an L shaped as opposed to a J. And that was coming up as symbolic of the two notes with something stuck between them. But that's coming up as well as another code that I got. I was also getting the T, a T, right, but with the little handles on the end, upside down, as that's like the handle of the sword, reflecting the T upright with the handles with the little extensions on the end, reflecting that as anchoring. So that'll come up in the read as well. So let me get into the read now. So, as I showed you, this tower of lightning, and only the two fires were showing when I had the clarification cards on top. Lightning reaching far and wide, and two fires, and one explosion destined to happen due to rejection, spoiled brat, or a miscarriage, or a refusal to grow up. So childish behavior. Leo sticks butt where it doesn't belong, and this can be ego too, in betrayal, like when a dog hides his face, but you can still see the rest of his butt, right? But he thinks he's hiding, that kind of thing. I was getting that energy. A show-off who hides behind pain and betrayal can no longer hide. Tower moves those blocks aside to reveal what's really been going on. 5 out of 9 pain, stress, and suffering of Aquarius, 5 out of 9, it's not 9 out of 9. 5 out of 9 stress and suffering of an Aquarius hiding their face, but doing tricep workout with weights on their left wrist. So I was getting someone doing tricep lifts with a weight on their wrist. Pooh Bear Honey, or someone may call someone Honey Bear or Pooh Bear, uses this to pour out their emotions while Bird is about to take off to the stars with offer to help and money from a workhorse she insists belongs to her. So it was bringing up the energy of me, of the karmic, pumping, showing her muscle, pumping her weights, and sticking her butt into the situation. If the masculine comes forward to you saying you can't have him, he belongs to me. Behind the scenes, Leo and or Aquarius, could be one person, causing drama at home but making it look peaceful on the outside so no one would know. The Knight of Pentacles shines light, helping those with physical pain, as the messenger of truth exposes union to transmute emotional trauma, rejection, even womb trauma, and psoas connection. So here again, I was getting that psoas muscle is very important in the release of trauma wounds, because the psoas stores all that fight or flight response from when you're a child and you don't know what wounds you had. It's all in that psoas. So try out that psoas trauma I told you about on YouTube. It's a half-hour exercise of release, of taxing out your psoas muscle in order to release all the trauma wounds. And then you just lay there for 10 minutes to 30 minutes to allow the shake in your legs to all bring that out. And that's Marnie, it's M-A-B-O is her YouTube. And it's called psoas Trauma Release, something like that, but you can find it. You'll see her M-A-B-O. So this was coming up as the masculine helping those with physical pain release, as the feminine messenger of truth, who's been speaking her truth for a while now, exposes the union to transmute emotional trauma, rejection, even womb trauma. So the child might have had trauma in the wound as well, and psoas connection. So Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Aquarius energies were all coming up around this situation. The messenger of truth, or the knight in shining armor, is above sitting out in the sun doing work with hands and plants. All right, so that could be someone who may be professional, who's inside all the time. But it's coming up as the two people who see things two different ways and may not get along. They may argue about this stuff. But the messenger of truth, above sitting out in the sun doing work with hands and plants, and needs to have some fun, possibly with their children. So finding something they both like outdoors, like riding horses was coming up specifically, as opposed to sitting still. Wounds come up from slavery plantation, where masters rode horses and sat in the yard with their ladies, but slaves kept their quarters away from the cotton fields, where there was just plain dirt and no life there. Two weak trees who had each other only and lived in fear. So this wound is coming up for sure. And Spirit's connecting with me. Hopeless Aquarius may be depressed in a split, a prisoner, a sex slave, now hanging in limbo at home with sudden new perspectives on why he or she is the way she is. I'm definitely getting this for karmics, but it can relate to the masculine or feminine as well. The crucifixion energy is coming up today. Also D-Day came up yesterday, which was June 6th, 1944. But instead of Jesus upright on the cross, we're now seeing him hanging on an inversion table instead, to rewrite the storyline. A right side up T instead of a cross, for anchoring to the heavens, inspired to grow past the bar, the upper bar, the glass ceiling, the veil. Vines always find a way through to the other side. They are unyielding, but they also go with the flow. So think about the vines, that no matter how hard you try, you can never get rid of them, because they go very slow and with the flow, and they can get through anything. They get through the fences, they get through the bushes, whatever it is. They get through the ground, right? So it's giving you a good example of what it means to go slow, one step at a time, and go with the flow. Allow the universe to guide your steps. So again, here's where I drew the T's. So the upside down T with the little ends on it was coming up as the anchor to the etheric realms. And then the reversed one, the etheric realms, but also the hanged man. So just like you would play hanged man. So Jesus is going to hang upside down as opposed to being upright on a cross. He's going to hang upside down like an inversion table. And then the reversed one is a sword handle, because it's saying your grounding comes from getting a grip on the truth. So not sticking it to yourself. Prison is wisdom on a stick. Getting a handle on your passions by seeing new perspectives of what you were stuck in. Okay, so when you're forced to be alone in prison, you're forced to work through your pain, aligning with self-support as opposed to relying on others to hang you out in the rain or out to dry. Okay, sudden epiphanies while hanging out at home, or forcing your hand out in the world at full second moon in Libra to get your butt whacked. Okay, so do you want to stay home and feel good, or do you want to go out in the full moon when you know the energies are rough right now and you may get triggered? You may be insisting on drama by doing that. So wedding came out as the underlying energy for the masculine, that this situation involves marriage, and the card beneath that was flirt. So it's like flirt going forward into this situation that involves marriage. Longing for love while receiving gifts or proposals, the masculine, from another, while keeping it quiet, wanting a second chance at love, longing for his flame. Hermit wonders where his flame went. As the Queen of Swords looks down, he in the mirror looks up, as opposed to looking straight in the mirror at each other, the face-to-face, due to fear, guilt, regret of what he knew that he did. Feeling gray, or literally turning gray, in tone. So his skin tone might actually look gray because he feels so ill, or masculines may be experiencing illness today. And my friend was definitely experiencing, like I said, stigmata and illness, nausea. And I was actually feeling nausea last night when I was trying to go to sleep. But I'm getting this more for the masculine, okay? So feeling gray, or literally turning gray in tone, while the divine feminine has done all she can to stay alive and satisfied, with lots of pins in her heart, lighting candles and ringing bells to clear, perhaps holding a fan, offering a hand, with silver sword, truth, learning to get back her gold coin, her self-love, her youth. He dreams of you. He was just taught never to show it, as if love could ever be a weakness of his. Perseverance also comes up for the masculine here, which was number 4 of the Emperor, and also stability. And then the card beneath that was self-love of 61, of taking a risk to love yourself first. Resting with the 3 wise men, blue eyes, all pointing at his heart in pain, heartache specifically, the King of Wands gives up battle of his wounds, in need of schooling and loss of independence, or kids not talking to him. One may not be studying and another may be spending his money, or his needs to be schooled by the divine feminine, and the divine feminine needs to lose her power and independence to him and no longer be single. Finding peacock feathers in the most unlikely places, or Kermit and Frog Legs and Mary Poppins Cinderella to start a fire and get burning together. He'll wear his work boots. Or teaching children to meditate and teaching them all about victim mentality and how to let go of it. Sudden loss of independence, money, child at home, in limbo due to wedding of Queen of Swords, persevering. Recently, for the masculine, so there's a wedding coming up here, and this can reference the divine wedding for sure. On this crucifixion and Easter, we're talking about the divine marriage here. It also can reference a child who may have just gotten married, or is getting married, or wants to get married, who may be, young, and maybe the parents aren't very into it, or may not like the person she's marrying. But it was mostly about the divine marriage, okay? So recently, a message, news, child, spark of light, freeing the masculine, freeing him to open his heart and leap away from resisting his fate and sharing with another. News of the death of Jesus, no longer. He's just hung for a while and then stopped and then stepped on another path in his wisdom, his rising, okay? So this was the recent past. Okay, so we're getting past the past, we're letting it go as we change the story, and we don't let it get that far, okay? So the message the other day was to stay at 0 point, to never let it get out of hand to the tower moment, which is today the crucifixion. Instead of letting it getting to the crucifixion, stopping just short of that, maybe 20 degrees north of that, and pulling it back and reining it in, and instead just hanging out and transmuting the pain, changing dimension as you rise in vibration. So this was definitely the message here. And I wanted to bring up a movie last night I saw. It was called Jonathan, and it was about a person who was born with two people inside of him. So it was a very cool movie, and boy, I felt very connected with my twin, especially towards the end of this movie as I was watching it, because in the movie, as they deal with the issues of each only having half of a life, because one is in the body from 7 to 7, the other in the other 7 to 7. At some time during the movie, it comes up that there was actually a third at one point, but they killed off the third because there was too much chaos within. They couldn't survive. So now there was just 2 souls left. So I don't want to ruin the whole movie for you, but it was some pretty cool messages there. You might want to check it out. And it definitely had to do with the one that lives in the dark actually is the one who survives, because they become very strong in their own knowing and are able then come to really truly appreciate the light, and Spirit's connecting with me. Okay. So the foundation here for the masculine is about pain. Today's the crucifixion. Betrayal and suffering after a bold move of twin to display their upside down world. Mary Magdalene, incomplete without twin. Divine marriage, Hieros Gamos. Okay? So we talk about Jesus on the cross, but we never talk about Mary Magdalene there with him. As twins, she would have been there with him, etherically, above him, hanging out with him the whole time. Centrally, the flame rises vibration and climbs out of the dark, or raises vibration, suddenly aligning with all of his dark shadows and cutting out those who no longer serve him. Okay? Shocking story of nightmare and control and longing, challenged by steps 3 and 4. Like I told you, the other cups were covered by the clarification cards. Only steps 3 and 4 were showing. Challenged by steps 3 and 4 to shut the door on the past of 7 while purging and getting attention for holding their tongue or holding back an announcement or being verbally abusive or abused by Dark X. But while this is all this was going on, it was very challenging for him to shut the door on the past. Choosing to hold on and share success and pride while fending off others with the Dark X and standing up to gossip and women and happy hour, work, parties, and family who were impatient with him. The women around him were not being angels, and that could include the karmic he went back to, and or children. So sharing message of longing from Divine Lover with Dark X, so he may have actually now, going back to the X, shared information from the Divine Feminine to him, messages to him and the family, and talked about it, a sovereign with kids who practices things of the devil. So if they're religious, they may talk about the Divine Feminine as practicing, devil worship, that kind of thing, if you do cards or whatever. And they're doing it openly, oh my gosh, with a mark on their head. Okay, that's coming up as the energy coming as the reaction for some of the masculine, their karmic and or their families, that kind of thing. According to the karmic's perspective. Now crowning, and you may be feeling, masculines, the crown being lifted from you because you're no longer going to sacrifice. Surprise conflict and expansion with flame. Experiencing satisfaction on his own, at home, while in union with twin, from his negative past or just his past returning. Patience, he's been having patience in ego death, realizing this, and loss of power, money, and independence. Ending the war of wounds and victim mentality with twin and kids, holding on loosely and grounding new templating. Studying other perspectives and angles and opportunities to hold back passion, or rush in just to conk out from exhaustion, or possibly worried about being unable to perform. Or an opportunity for a one-night stand after nightmare of control and dealing with control and drinking, whether it's his or the karmics or family members. But now happily, without the karmic, without their affection from the old lover, while longing and hung up on manifesting, serious about manifesting talk or a message to the high priestess lover with keys and tones, sovereign who tried to wake him but he wouldn't listen, just flirting with danger to make himself feel better and feed his ego. Okay? So soon for the masculine is the Queen of Swords. Happy, energized, and offering her gold coin of a child, because remember we each get it as a child, but when the mothers have children, they give away their gold coin, and they don't get their self-love back unless they learn to love themselves first again, because when you have a baby, they're completely dependent on you, so you do sacrifice yourself. You give your gold coin to the child, and I said the representation was being shown to me. The mother then becomes the Ace of Swords, basically, in mourning, because she no longer has her gold, her self-love. She gave it to her children as a gift. So she needs to, once she's done raising the babies, learn to get her self-love back. And if she doesn't, she stays that Queen of Swords in mourning. So the Queen of Swords, happy now, energized and offering her gold coin of a child, like becoming childlike again, child's pose, now clear on decision for happy ending and emotional fulfillment. So that once the Queen of Swords decides she no longer wants to be second and wants to love herself first again, she no longer will be the Queen of Swords. Okay? She wants that happy ending now, and she wants the emotional fulfillment. The wounded warrior, then Queen of Pentacles, twin, is now refusing to let go of gold coin to just anyone. Or this Queen of Pentacles can be coming up also as the karmic in kids, who's greedy with the money, being Scrooge, holding on to the money for the happy ending. So basically forcing the masculine to give up everything to leave. So they could be different situations here. But it's coming up as if this is the feminine, the masculine realizing, once she's got her gold coin back, that confidence of her self-love, she's not going to just give it away to just anyone again. Just the angel, when he's happy, or she, without their ex, confident on their own, just like she had to go through, and ending his cycle before he jumps in with her. She no longer is mourning his death. He is abundant, with heart open wide. So this is coming up as how the masculine sees himself. So this is how he can be seeing himself as more feminine, but he can also be seeing himself as in the abundance of his feminine, or in the abundance of letting go of his karmic, or even his mother. Okay? He is abundant with heart open wide, implementing, dropping his burdens, and confessing in the aftermath of this war ending. Okay? And again, that's been coming up a lot lately. What do you do at the end of the war? Once everyone's celebrated, everyone gets lost again because they don't know where to go from here. So the Empress in his heart is representing Mary Magdalene on the cross with Jesus, lifting him up. Keep an open mind for the masculine. Also free yourself, getting to know each other, attraction, and very soon clearly decide what you want, so it comes to you now. Around the masculine, or how he is seen, is the King of Swords, or King of Orbs, sending 5D messages. After the Empress reverse walked away, or within without option, but he didn't give her an option, over isolating and now coming out as the Queen of Pentacles reversed, ungrounded, or may have lost some money. This can also represent the karmic Queen of Pentacles reversed, if it's this person who's just all about the money, and she's coming up as the Empress reversed. So this can represent, several different situations, because it can just be the divine feminine, but the Empress reversed can also represent, I'm getting in this read, which I never usually get, the Emperor reversed, definitely I will get ego death. Not just being out of control, but out of control is ego death. So today I'm getting both the Emperor and Empress reversed in one of the situations as ego death for both. Okay, so that can represent the feminine's ego death along with her having lost some money or feeling ungrounded at the moment, but it also can represent an ill mother with her. But same on the karmic side, it can represent an Empress reversed mother who may be out of control, but also the Queen of Pentacles reversed can represent someone who's all about money. So it can be a mother and daughter situation. So the karmic and the mother-in-law. Could be his own mother as well. But anyway, this coming up is walking away and within without option, whoever it is. Over isolating before and now coming out as the Queen of Pentacles reversed, whether it's someone who's ungrounded or greedy or lost some money. The masculine needs to clear blocks of a new life. All right, so when we have here, it's saying he needs to clear blocks about a new life, because this is the diamond in the rough, that it needs to be rough, because it doesn't. It's perfect just as it is. It doesn't need polishing. Clear those blocks of that things need to be rough. Just diamond is perfect, just as it is at the full moon. The Queen of Swords speaks her truth with an offer of help and or work from Emperor reversed, who could be the masculine in ego death, which doesn't mean anyone loses all their ego. But it's ego death, okay? This is the dark night of the soul, is ego death. The Emperor reversed without ego coming in and emotionally detached from karmic, now offering help to the Queen of Swords to get away from the Queen of Pentacles karmic, emotionally detached, or manipulating and out of control, still playing victim. And the karmic may be jealous of the divine masculine's new life with the divine feminine. So synchronicities comes up, like I said at the beginning of the read, but even more so here is coming up compassion for everyone in the situation. So the twins are being called to have compassion. You are to have compassion for the karmic. You don't have to be best friends or even hang out together, but you need to show compassion and not get triggered and react to situations. Cutting cords with harsh truth and abusers, the masculine, addictions and obsessions, so them cutting the cords with all of these things. Sudden success, good news, attention from the Queen of Cups, feeling insecure about the passion between them, or feeling he may manipulate her to get what he wants. So there may be some current concerns about the feminine as they come together. Suddenly rides in. Okay, so this is the final card. I don't want to call it outcome, it's just the final energy of the read. Okay, so that coming in here with good news and attention, success, coming into celebration and joy of the Three of Cups. So again, success, sudden success, good news, attention from Queen of Cups, feeling insecure about passion between them, or feeling he may manipulate her to get what he wants, so worried that he might come in. They probably heard all sorts of stories. Your masculine might come in, not how he's supposed to be, and might want a one-night stand or that kind of thing. But you need to just trust yourself, love yourself first, and just stay present. Suddenly rides in, masculines, single, for a date with shadow side and harsh truth, allowing all for sudden attention and to come together, to come clean about religion. And I was getting losing my religion came out as well. Divorce and or spirituality, losing my religion. So releasing dysfunctional family templates, including Jesus on the cross and Mary Magdalene, as well as gossip, overindulgences, and those who no longer serve, being present to abandonment wounds, and King of Wands reversed, who may be tired and angry, on the cross, while his divine sovereign stands with him in her full power. So all of this read is representing how Jesus was on the cross and Mary Magdalene above him the whole time. But this is no longer how he wants to be seen, just paralleling the two so you understand the message. Sudden strength to end the pain, an open heart with 5D messages. Winged messenger, Gabriel, comes through here with message of light and confession on stairway to heaven, with the Queen of Swords, new life offer, through conflict, going through the conflict and the expansion, into good news, journey, and leading the way, leading the journey with attention, to come together in joy, to break bread and celebrate love in joy, and in your full power. Sudden message of weakness and pain, ending with confession, with steps 3 and 4 to shut the door, and 1 foot out the door, to expand heart through truth of Mary Magdalene's mourning of his death, connected above the whole time, as messenger of truth, diamond light, in their journey to joy, divine union, Hieros Gamos. Okay, so that was the read here. And by the way, I kept, this is my my Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene stone from the south of France that I got just outside the cave of Mary Magdalene where she spent time. And I'm going to show you the read. And I will do the oracle cards separately, as I've been doing. Or maybe I won't today. Maybe I'll do it all together. Okay, so the full read here. Alright, so just for today, since it's the crucifixion day, I'm going to, or the no longer crucifixion day, as it were, and we're calling in Mary Magdalene and Jesus. We might as well make this fluid. I have the Ascension deck here, okay? And I was asking what earrings I should wear today, and I was guided to the gold coins. So these are like little flowers, like the buttercup yellow of Mary Magdalene. So for the Ascension deck, today is April 18, 2019. For everyone watching, the best and highest of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? We're asking Mary Magdalene and Jesus for your guidance. What is our guidance? What do we need to learn? What is your very special message today? Please be clear. And God, please armor us all with your love across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and reality for the highest good of all is concerned. Transmute, transform, transcend, and clear, filling the empty spaces with only beautiful, organic love and diamond light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mary Magdalene, Jesus Christ. The bottom of the deck is Lemurian healing. That's just numbers to count. It kept giving me more cards. All right, so 24 is also Omega. It's the end of the deck. It's the end of karma. Okay. Affirmations: I send Lemurian healing to Earth. And that's been coming up. I think that came up yesterday, if not the day before. That definitely was there. All right, so we have a card from each. All right, so from Mary Magdalene, we have Lord Maitreya, which is 30. So that's the union number. And then we have Lady Nada from Jesus, and he always does this. He always goes back to her, okay? Because they're supporting each other. 45 is the Five of Cups, okay? That's not being able to pass the baton, right? It's the Five of Cups, not letting go of the old to be able to turn around to the new, passing the baton. And today is that day of letting go to change dimension. All right, so we have 30 and 45 of the Four of Wands and the Five of Cups. The grief of the divine union, her mourning of his death, okay? And you notice this in the morning. You mourn every morning for the death, the shadow side at night. And I have to count these two. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, so perfect. I have 18 cards here. So it's 18 of the full moon going into tonight. It's not officially today. It's on the 19th because it's from West Coast is like 4 something and then 7 something. I think it was 7:12 a.m. tomorrow morning for the East Coast. All right, so it's tonight is the full moon, but then we're past the full moon after that energy. So really tomorrow, most of tomorrow is post full moon. We're then waning from the full moon. So we're building up to it, to tonight, in these crucifixion energies, okay? The card that was on the bottom of this pile, which I usually show, is the gold and silver cloak. Okay, so we brought up the gold coin and the silver sword of Excalibur, of the mother, as she gives away her gold coin. So they want to bring up both the gold and the silver, and the 26 of the Page of Wands, because he's inspired. It's inspired young energy. Can be a date as well, of the gold and the silver coin, the masculine giving back the mother her self-love. And it says, I am in total balance and harmony. When you balance your wisdom and power, giving and receiving, your connection with Hollow Earth and the seventh heaven, okay, that comes up in that card, it offers you the courage to love. This makes you magnetic to people, animals, situations, so that you can attract all that is for your highest good. So your guidance is to bring yourself into harmony and balance and visualize yourself wearing the gold and silver cloak so that you draw in angel sonics to purify the energy around you. Expect the unexpected and miraculous. Okay, I am in balance and harmony. Total balance and harmony. All right, so we have the Queen of Wands over here as the bottom of the deck, and then we have the Page of Wands there. Okay, so it's definitely energy of the Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands. There's a lot of passion there, passionate energy. And then we have the Four of Wands of the Union here, and then the grief energy of the 45 of Lady Nada, which is representative of the Divine Feminine. Okay, so we have the karmic, the masculine, the feminine in grief, and then the union that will be to come as the gold and silver cloak is offered. The gold coin is offered to the feminine. Okay, so we have 18 plus the other 2, then makes 20 of the Judgment Day. Okay, final judgment. No one has the place to pass judgment on anyone right? But God, the collective consciousness. So I'm going to read Lord Maitreya, which says, Lord Maitreya is the head of the Great White Brotherhood, the beings whose auras radiate pure white of integrity and high intention. Drawing this card suggests it's time for you to examine every area of your life carefully and practice purity of thought, word, and deed. You are asked to be an example of right living, for your light will then draw many to the ascension way. Your reward is the peace that passes all understanding and the joy of flowing smoothly, going with the flow, on your higher path in life, being divine. Being divine. Affirmation is, I connect with the Great White Brotherhood and radiate pure white light today. Okay, so keep it pure. And then Lady Nada says that Lady Nada is the twin flame of Jesus' higher self, Sananda. She is the master of the seventh ray of ritual and magic. Ceremonies that call in mighty forces are important, so you're reminded to bring people together to raise great light. A priestess in the Temple of Love in Atlantis. Lady Nada is bringing back ancient healing methods, helping the development of intuition, telepathy, wisdom, and acting for justice. Your guidance is to trust your spiritual and psychic abilities and use them to help those in need. The affirmation is, I accept and practice my healing, spiritual, and psychic gifts. Okay, so we have a lot of seven, seventh heaven, and the white light. The white light and the gold and silver cloak, okay, which is very much of their energies, because we have the purity of the white light along with the sparkling gold and silver, okay. The diamond light. So the diamond light is like the silver light, and then the gold of the Christ consciousness, and the white light of purity. Alright, so again we have April 18, 2019. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know, what do we need to learn? Everyone take a deep breath, and we're asking Mary Magdalene and Jesus today. And I'm saying Mary Magdalene first because Jesus is asking me to put her first, okay? What is our guidance? Mary Magdalene and Jesus. The bottom of the deck is vows. So basically here's Gamos is your vows. Coming up is the underlying energy. And I'm getting very sweaty. The masculine energy is coming through. Beneath vows is wisdom reversed as the underlying energy. Well, two things I'm getting is, one, for wisdom, hang upside down to get a new perspective. But I'm also getting that your vows is not about wisdom, it's about feeling the love of your flame. The wowza. You crack me up. Is Thoth there? No, they're stealing his joke. Okay. Whew. I'm sweating. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so we have 8 cards here of strength, and strength came up as supporting the tower today. Right? Coming in with a vengeance. So there may be some of that energy coming in today. We have the orphan upright from Mary Magdalene. And we have persecution and inquisition from, guess who? From Jesus today. Okay? Mary Magdalene wants you to know that she understands what it's like to feel alone. She very much was, it's making me want to cry. She was very much alone, and put apart from the crowd. Even just like you twins, she knew how much Jesus loved her, and yet he chose his calling of the crowd over her. And their end spirits connecting. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. And this is what I'm getting from Mary Magdalene. She's joking about it, but it's very painful too. Like, it's a lot of heartache for her. Just like you all have experienced. And I'm just getting from Jesus and the persecution and Inquisition that it's not about him, it's about her, because she didn't get any credit for what she did for him and with him. But to take him off the cross, but also give her recognition for what she did and was, and how beautiful she was, and his love for her. Even though he denied her 3 times. And that's why they're having me bring the cards out together, because this is all about Mary Magdalene. All right, they want me to go into the 8 cards as well. So the bottom of the 8 cards is Medicine Man or Woman. We also have Imprisonment or Slavery there. We have Galactic. We have Biblical, which is reversed, which is like the Carpenter. We have High Priestess. We have Knighthood. Again, they've been coming up a lot. We have the Authority Figures and Gavel, and we have Egypt reversed. All right, so that gavel has like sparkling little stars around it. So just so you know, so you get an idea of the feeling of it. All right, so again, they came out in a different order when I put them down. I guess the way I was trying to show you the cards. So now I'm getting Biblical first. Okay, so Jesus wants you to take him off the cross again. Okay? You don't have to work hard. You don't have to be the workhorse. It's about doing what you love, not working hard. There's nothing wrong with being a carpenter. It's a beautiful job. But it has to be within your heart to do it. Because then time just passes away like nothing. Okay, but this is also, this card is, and speak your truth. Don't pretend to like something for someone else. You must always do it for you. This is very much parallels with the 8 of Pentacles card. Because it's the person working on details, creating, like the carpenter. And in that card, I've been getting a lot lately, he's asking me to reference this, of the 8 of Pentacles being all about aligning yourself with your beloved and cracking the codes together of what your self-love is. So then we have Galactic, which I'm getting the White Dwarf again, so about Sirius B. Seriously, B. We're giving a plug to B, so if you have never seen B do her work, you got a nice little message here from Jesus B, so this is the message I'm giving you. Right? Yes. Okay, readings by B, so if you haven't seen B, you might want to check her out. They're just joking. Serious B, seriously, because she's very serious. She kicks butt, you know. I guess she has a military background, so, you know, she has more of that kind of She always says no holds bar. So it's about, yes, working and being creative with the things that you love to do here on Earth, but it's also, you know, make sure you stay connected to your galactic connections, including Sirius B. I'm getting the kite of your connections. So the kite has, you know, at least 5 of the constellations. So we're mostly talking about Orion, but, you know, Pleiades, Sirius, Andromedan, and the Arcturians. The central sun, Venus, the heart, the cosmic heart. They wanted me to bring out Venus. If someone needs, I don't know if that means anything to anyone. Visas, could be visa, but visas. Someone needs a visa. And I'm getting Venus. Flytrap now. That's a message for somebody. So mainly I'm getting also the North Star, the North Node, but the 4 I mentioned, plus Venus, but Sirius and Sirius B. I'm getting that Sirius and Sirius B are headquarters for the kite of the 4 others I mentioned. Alright, so Pleiades, Arcturus, Andromedan, and Venus. Set yourselves free. Set yourselves free from imprisonment, whether it be from this world or another. Go through the portals. Go with the flow, one step at a time. Just allow it to just take you right through. You don't need to know. Catch your dreams, dream catchers. Follow your web. Try to let go of meat so you don't kill the other beings on this planet with you. Don't hang the others out to dry. I'm getting, and it's very heartbreaking. All right, so the birds, like the chickens and birds and different things hanging in the butcher's window is the message I'm getting. And you notice too, it's making me want to cry again. He's saying it's no different than me and Mary Magdalene hanging from the cross. Okay? Being hung out to dry. Do that with your herbs instead. Know who you are and use your powers. Expand your psychic abilities. Know your worth. Open your hands to the heavens and earth. Use your chakras to heal not only others but yourself. Your main mission is to stay connected with your higher self. To heal, physician, healer, heal thyself. Alright, to take off all of the cloak the guard, the cover, the mask, the protection, it's all the same. You do not need to shield yourself with the truth. You just need to be your truth in your authenticity. Never be afraid to be who you are. Don't worry about your family crest. They'll get over it. If they love you, they will love you, and they will get over it. If they don't love you, they are not worth it. He's being very serious. He's being very serious. And serious B, you can send him to her, okay? Authority figures. Putting the gavel down. There's lots of sparkles here. It's Peter Pan's gavel. He's very serious, but in the most delightful way. No one has the right to judge, but the collective consciousness. And even then, it's never about judging each other. It's about going with the flow with each other, doing the dance. And it's them saying, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, God, that sometimes it's just about lighting a fire under your butt. It's not about punishment. It's about helping you to expand further. Thus the collective consciousness, thus God, the source, the creator, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the Christus Sophia consciousness. And we have Egypt upside down because there is no rank among us. There's no one bigger than the other. No one more profound. Okay? Just use the pyramids for your house. And you can have 2 on your house if you'd like. Different sizes, any shape you'd like. Use your creativity to be light. I'm getting to, when I brought up the slaves in the cotton fields, they're asking me to also bring up the slaves from Egypt. All right? Think about all the slaves that built all those humongous structures, okay? All the suffering. Don't feed into it, but recognize it for what it is, okay? That everyone has suffered. No one is greater than the other, no one more profound. But you are all so profound. You have all been the carpenter, the simple man, the galactic being, the ETs, the imprisoned, the judge who put them in prison. You've been the doctor, you've been the patient, you've been the priest, you've been the accuser of the high priestess. You've been the knight in shining armor, the knight who has killed. You've been the one who was killed by the knight, and the one who received their love. You've been the judge and the jury, and you've been the accused. You've walked like an Egyptian. You've walked like Madonna too. And Marilyn Monroe. There's a lot of sorrow there. Marilyn, did you want to say something? Marilyn Monroe is singing to me, "I Don't Know How to Love Him," which was Mary Magdalene's song. Mary Magdalene and Marilyn Monroe are saying to all of you feminine twins, you are our sisters. We understand where you've been. Whew. Thank you. We have Journey of Love now, okay? Journey of Love. Journey of Love. Thoth just came in. Oh, was there anything that Gabriel needed to say? Gabriel came up and then Gabriel is saying ground control to Major Tom. That Gabriel's ground control and that Thoth is Major Tom. They're just being very funny. I appreciate their humor. Okay, so again, it's April. Take a deep breath. It's April 18, 2019. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? We're asking Mary. We have a whole bunch of you here. We have Mary Magdalene. We have Jesus. We have Marilyn Monroe. We have we have Gabriel and then Thoth. Thoth said ladies first. Alright, so I don't know if we're going to get cards for all of them, but we have Mary Magdalene, Jesus, Marilyn Monroe, then we have Gabriel and then Thoth. So if we get 5, we'll do 5. If not, Thoth will bow out gracefully. Let me start counting. I have 4. 4 cards came out together. Alright, so Thoth is bowing out. We have Mary Magdalene. This is the way they came out. So they would actually come out this would be first, okay? So this is Mary Magdalene, Contemplation, number 69. 69 is that Ace of Pentacles, the diamond in the rough. It's not rough, it's diamond light, a beautiful new life. Okay, and Jesus as eruption of light. Alright, this is the toroidal field. Then we have, this is from Marilyn Monroe, Man of the Earth, Woman of the Sky, 48, which came up yesterday. And then from Gabriel, we have the Pearl Threaded, number 38, which is the Queen of Cups, which Thoth said ladies first. So I'm getting from Gabriel, the Queen of Cups is representative of all of you. We have a lot of cards to count here too. The bottom of the deck is Distant Shores again. Okay, number 18. So perfect for today. And the reflective four moons of the Emperor. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Today is 34, the day of the crucifixion. Okay? Well, he's going to stop at 33 because that's considered the Christ vibration, but I talked about his age yesterday too, and he wants to bring up 34 again. Okay? So 34 is that 8 of Wands energy, devotion to the small, is the card that comes up at the bottom here, which is 32. So 32 of the journey. Oh, that's so perfect. There's 34 cards, which is the 8 of Wands. 32 is the 6 of Wands, which I always show you the one that's on top. Devotion to the small. So don't forget the little people. Saying don't forget that Mary Magdalene was with him the whole time. 32 and 34, and the space between the words is the 33 of that Christus Sophia, the Christ light. Okay, the Christ consciousness. And the 34 is the passion. You know, it's the arrows of love. It's the passion between you. And 30, so it's showing you the relationship between you and your beloved, Jesus and Mary Magdalene. The 34 of the passion between you, and the 32 of your journey together, your mission. Okay, and then the space between you is the 33 of the Christ light. Okay, the diamond light. I'm getting the 4 moons of the distant shores of the purple and green, which is the colors I often see when I first go into meditation. I'll see the dance between the purple and the green, the third eye and the grounded heart. And I was getting the 4 moons of the 4 weeks of the month, the 28-day cycle. Reflecting all aspects of the shadows of the distant past. The period reminding you of death each month. And that some false lights are very light and others very dense. The 4 weeks of the month for the feminine. And the 28-day cycle. The 28 being the twins. Oh, it's all they're making a joke. Saying from the masculine, they're cracking me up. And Marilyn saying, and don't forget, this is about JFK too. They're making a joke that sometimes the reflection of him is very light, and sometimes he's dense. He's an idiot. Okay. That's the underlying energy. So, what do I get from these 4 cards? And it's 11904. Magician, the 19 of the sun, the masculine energy, and then the 4 of the emperor, being out of control and needing to let go of his ego. Recognizing this, the different parts of him, the magician embodiment and the emperor. But needing to just be the sun. Jesus. So I want you to see Mary Magdalene and Jesus' cards together because the colors are very similar and smooth. right? It's they're showing that that's their union. Like everyone's union is different. And this is Marilyn Monroe saying this is the energy of her union, how rough it was. Okay, so it's showing you the four differences in the moon, how some are very light and some are thick. They're saying thick now. But you see in hers, in Marilyn Monroe, how very bright the sun was, the masculine energy, okay? That's what happens when the masculine outshines his divine feminine. And then we just have Gabriel to come through as that we are all connected by the same thread. So don't forget that. Don't forget the beauty of the pearl of each. That within the shadow, the bacteria that gets into the clam or the oyster is how we get to the pearl, how we get to the beauty. Through the dark is how we get to the light. Through meditation, Mary Magdalene is saying, through your meditation and prayer and gratitude, time alone, and from Jesus through the eruption of light, the passion, as well as your hieros gamos. So it's also about the sexual connection. You know, allow yourself equal parts of time to yourself, meditation, reflection, whatever it is, and then time together to find your passion together and erupt with light and do the dance. I'm not going to read 48 again because I read it yesterday and I have 3 other cards. Is that okay, Marilyn? Is there something else you want to say? I'm getting from her that her wispiness. She's saying, you know, and she's connecting with me, allow the man to be that grounding mechanism, but ladies, enjoy how beautiful it is to be a woman, to be so light and airy and free and silly and do whatever you want and be pretty if you want, to put on makeup and dress and be giddy. Don't allow anyone to take that away from you. This is part of the masculine as well, but they didn't let themselves be that. And this was the problem. All serious and all, right? About being president. I'm just getting how much she loved to play with her makeup. It was so much fun for her. And like curly cues in her hair. I'm getting Shirley Temple as well. Oh, she's commenting on my curly hair. Thank you. Alright. So we got to get through these. So actually, Gabriel's card is very similar to theirs as well, okay? Marilyn's was showing the difference. How rough she had it, okay? $69. Alright, so 69 is contemplation. Within you there's a question arising. It was just 124:21, the end of karma, being the magician. Within you there's a question arising. When you get the question right, the answer will be self-evident. But you have to plunge your consciousness deep within to find the right question, to articulate it clearly and understand what it is that you're really asking. That question within you is actually a divine gift of awakening. It's your future awakened self waiting to be found and calling to you too. Let the question arise through dreams, dance, meditation, sleep, yoga, time in nature, swimming in the ocean, bathing in aromatherapy bath, or receiving a hot stone massage. The question holds within it the next unfolding petal of the lotus of your being. This oracle brings you an invitation to enter into the mystery of your life and your being, and to allow the biggest question you can summon to emerge from your heart and be expressed through love. Your question may emerge as clear and shining, or soft and yielding. A question with no words, only feeling. Whatever truth emerges, let that be your contemplation. In response to that question, the next step forward will unfold before you, revealed in perfect clarity and perfect timing. This oracle brings you a message from your own divine God, or your own divine nature. Come sit with me and breathe. I want to ask you something. I want you to ask me something. Together there is a conversation that we are to have now, and there will be beautiful accord between us that overflows into all of your relationships, bringing more understanding and peace. The poem brings, and Gabriel's trying to come through very strongly. It's how heartsick the masculine who wants to communicate. Patterns break through the night in beams of light awakening, memories of walking on sand, moments waves replace, waiting for another passerby. Reflections, time to look outward in, to find those hidden spaces, residing alone, waiting for a twin soul, waiting for myself. And this is not in there, but to come home, I want to say, again. And that 69 is the one before the last one, which is heaven. And we have the stairway to heaven there as well. So now we have 11 of eruption of light from Jesus. And we're going to save Gabriel for the last one, because there's an important message coming through from Gabriel. All right, let's see. Eruption of light says, your every prayer is a power-packed eruption of light beamed into the divine presence. Some pray with fear or doubt, as though the prayer is not doing much at all. Yet you understand that prayer is powerful, that it is divine action set in motion. Your power of divine prayer emerges from your heart and out through your throat. Whether you speak or sing your prayer silently within your own mind, or aloud for all the world to hear. Let your prayers be vocalized as feeling expressed to the divine, in words or song if you choose. You have the power to heal at your fingertips and vocal cords. Through your voice you can heal. Let your hands be joined in prayer position at your heart, and your mouth open to let the breath of your spirit move through your throat, creating sound. As you speak it, so shall it be. This oracle holds a message for you. Your words have more power than you realize, and you have a special ability to heal with words, to bring light where it is needed, and to uplift through simple kindness spoken. You also have a message to bring. It might be an urge to write or speak on topics. I'm getting comics, on topics that are close to your heart. All right, so comics are coming up here as well. You may also simply have the need at a soul level to share from the heart with others when you're engaged in conversations. This oracle says your voice is part of your power, so do use it. And it simply states, life begins with love. To complete itself again, symmetry is born. So the comics, Tom was coming up there too. So I was getting again that Gabriel's ground control to Major Tom to Thoth. So this is Thoth being funny again. But comics for sure, okay, is another way of expressing. There's comic strips. People love reading the comic strip in the paper every day. But keep it light and funny and heartfelt. Don't go to all this other crap, the dark stuff. But don't judge others who do. There's a purpose for it all, through and through, for all of you. Alright, so now we have the pearl threaded from, okay, and that was from Jesus. And now from Gabriel we have the pearl threaded. Though we labor through the illusion of individuality and have to face our inner challenges in solitude, our spiritual transformation is not an independent event, nor is it for our victory alone, as we approach the enlightened way of all-embracing love. Each human being is a pearl on the Divine Mother's garland. Judy Garland is present, wanting to send her love to her beautiful daughter. Each human being is a pearl on the Divine Mother's garland, gradually assuming luster and revealing beauty, worth, and radiance over many lifetimes. Together we are creating a precious offering in return for her gift of life. We can learn to draw on the collective effort to allow our own journey to become integrated into the journey of the group without being weighed down, and instead to be lifted up. To do this, we honor the thread that connects each of us as one divine being, just like the various fingers that belong to the one hand. Then we honor the pearl essence of our divine nature, that we are capable of growth and transformation, becoming divine beauty. This oracle brings you a message. You are to shift your perspective to allow all groups that you are involved in to become a source of energetic lifting rather than depletion. If a group you are involved in cannot do this for you, then you may not be in vibrational resonance, and it may be time to seek a group that is more energetically supportive of your vibration. Trust your feelings and don't be scared to open up and allow yourself to connect with others. That way you can truly know if a group or gathering is for you or if you need to move on. But do trust that you are not alone on your journey, and the soul connections that will nourish you will draw you to them like strands of pearls on the Divine Mother's necklace. Hearts apart, remember love, and time stands still. Gabriel is stepping aside for Mother Mary to come through. It was very intense for me for both of them to be there. Gabriel saying, just like Thoth said, the next page is 39, the Knight of Cups, offering love. Let the feminine lead the way. That's Gabriel's message. To be love and to offer love to everyone, you must allow the feminine to lead the way. That Gabriel is very much of a feminine masculine. And thus the communicator. It's so important to always have the message of love behind every word that you say. And like in his card from Gabriel, all right, it must come from the heart, the center, the heart. Okay? All of the words that we're all one. We're all connected by the same heart. It's when we get apart from the heart with our words that we become disconnected and then hurt. Because words can cause so much pain without heart. And don't forget to floss. The divine floss that gets stuck between the teeth, the space between the words, right? The food that got caught between the keys on the keyboard, between ebony and ivory. And that's coming through again now. Ebony and ivory live together in pearl. Linda McCartney's coming through now. Perfect harmony. I can't sing when they're here because it's making me cry. Side by side on my piano. Always remember that you are all the notes on the divine keyboard. Some of you are white and some of you are black. And some of you are stuck between. Those are the variations. What's it called? They're making a funny. What's the thing that makes the notes go? I forget what it's called. I know what it's called, but I can't think of it. But they're saying like there's all in between. You're all represented there. It's not just the black and the white. It's the black and the white and everything in between. Allow the shadow to give more color to your light. More definition. More bright. I'm getting, they're showing me like a little funny of the last, there are 3 cards, okay, they're showing me because it's a crucifixion. I was asking Jesus, is there any last thing he'd like, any final words he'd like to say? And here's dead. He's showing me dead from this card, and that dead, light, and then Asian, because Asian came up in one of my reads before as the grounding of the ion. The ion, you know, is the electrons, you know, running around free. Okay, so you're grounding you electrons, grounding your light. And being a deadhead. Pretty funny. It's like saying the dead light nation in a positive way. Dead lightation. What's the song? I'm getting Beatles. Good vibrations. They're so funny. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Judy, Garland. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Mary Magdalene. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Thoth. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Okay, guys, I gotta go. It's getting long here. I did show the read. Drink your water. Be good to yourselves today. Let go of the sacrifice and embrace the joy. Rise and be love and light. Bye.